love to win another flag for both of those as well. Chloe Bassett in the middle of the ground. She's one of the better players in this competition, won the Nola Marino medal just the other night.
Brady Van Wyk in the ruck for Busselton, opposed to Kate Fielding. Will Southwest Football League's Invincibles deliver another victory today? Fielding gets the knockout, and it's over to Chloe Bassett.
Bassett straight away.
She's got plenty of time, and she gets the ball out toward the far wing of Hands Oval. South getting plenty of the football early.
Look at the numbers to the contest straight away.
Yeah, Rennie Meadmore in there as well. It's plenty of congestion at the moment, but South working their way out of it. The pressure is just phenomenal so far. There's Meadmore in there again. She's already had a couple of touches. And South able to work it forward. Bethany Bond in there, out to Beeson. Dispossessed as she tried to get rid of it. It's a bit of a rolling maul there at the moment. And Van Wyk in there again.
You know, they often say prelim finals are the best games of footy to watch because the grand final, the intensity is so high, it can become a bit scrappy. And those Busso girls are working so hard to lock it in right now.
Definitely. Bassett gets a kick deep in toward forward 50. It's going to be okay, though, for Busselton because Isabella Hancock rides forward, kicks it to the half-back line. Ball spills out. What can South do here? They've got the numbers on the far side of the ground. Great teamwork. Beeson, called her name a bit in recent weeks, goes toward the left forward pocket. And Amber Boyd escorts the ball over the boundary line and out of bounds, roughly 2 metres around from the left hand behind post for South Bunbury.
4 touches already for Chloe Bassett.
Hayley Bice at the fall of the ball amongst several people. There's Bethany Bond, you can't miss her. Originally from South Bunbury Primary School, she's always lived near Hands Oval, and she might get a touch here, but it's cut off again by Hancock. I tell you what, JB, I really loved her game in the preliminary final.
And another good defensive mark too.
Gets it across to Emma Borinelli. Touch ball, this ball will be a live one. South working it forward, there's 3 to the ball here. South should be able to make something happen here. Angela Williamson, we mentioned her off air, one of the best lockdown defenders in the competition. South still working the ball forward. There's Maddie Obel. Wouldn't she love to win a grand final today? Of course, missing out last year due to that wretched knee injury. Credit to both sides. They're keeping this football alive. Umpires content to let it go on. There's Tregus, the talented centre halfback for the Magpies, as it's shot out of the air. Touched on the line. What's the... Umpire has another idea and he says it's a goal. And the Tigers, they're up and about early.
So Maddie Obel with the first goal of the game, but what impressed me was in the lead-up, she had 4 sockers. You mentioned that ball stayed alive for a significant period of time. She socked the ball on 4 times in that passage of play just to keep it moving, and in a game like this, that's really, really important. You can't be allowed to just lock the ball down, so exceptional little effort to keep the ball moving.
Maybe something they planned pre-game too, JB. You saw the team out for breakfast this morning. They do like to congregate together, and you mentioned they did look in good spirits.
Ebony Bilsich, the runner, are part of those celebrations as well.
There's Megan Bain. She's in the middle next to Rennie Meadmore. Another tap out by Fielding. She's winning the ruck so far. Beeson kicks clear to the half-forward line. Oh, Williamson, courage to get that ball out. And can the Magpies reply? One thinks that they will need to strike back quickly in order to keep this game close. You do not want to give South any room to do what they want to do. And there's Megan Bain in there, her younger sister Abby playing also this afternoon. You'll see her in number 2. As Fielding and Newman go at it again. This time Fielding second to the ball, but it's okay because Beeson kicks clear again. That's about her 6th disposal. Bethany Bond, formerly of the Peel Thunderbirds, a great unit in the forward line there. Plenty of grunt, and South just working this ball over time along the half-forward line, but the umpire will cross himself.
Busselton's pressure again really good early here. We've harped on it a little bit, but South Bunbury trying to keep it moving, Busso trying to lock it down, and keep putting pressure on the ball handler.
Here's Meadmore, taps it in front of her. South still dominating in the early stages, but being put under pressure. And can Busselton make something happen here? This is good football by them as they're off to the races. Unlucky there was Vanderleer. Her kick was smothered, and it's going to be a free kick to the Magpies.
She'll be the beneficiary here, Borinelli, but she probably should have laid a shepherd earlier, so a little bit fortuitous here and a chance for Busso on goal, but just those 1%ers early.
Definitely, and Rennie Meadmore very, very complimentary of Borinelli during the week, says she clunks the marks and does what we need to. It goes to the square, and it's cleared again by the Tigers as we go out toward this members' side wing. Great duel here.
Good wrestle, Elwood.
Good football by Elwar, but Busselton able to reply and send it deep into the teeth of goal. There's Meadmore, but it's all South. There's 4 unattended players streaming into the middle of the ground. Good football there by Michelle Oliver, rated highly by Max Jetta, and she's going to get involved again because she got a handball and kicks it into the centre of the ground.
Busso with the numbers behind the footy here. If they can figure something out, they should be able to slingshot this.
Great football by both sides. It's really competitive, JB. Loving it. Bryony Gel in there again. I tell you what, every possession at the moment is being earned. There's Danielle Trott in there. She was best on ground last week against the Harvey Bulls, JB. Isabella Hancock lining up next to Chloe Bassett, I should say, sorry. And here's Meadmore.
Good tackle, Bain.
Good pressure there. Oh, this is great football. And again, Claudia Elwood in there. She was a leading goal kicker last year with Beth Bond. Done plenty of damage. Fielding in there again. Chloe Bassett. We know what she can do, and she does it again. Clever kick to Holly Bilsich, younger sister of Ebony, of course. And Holly Bilsich kicks it deep into the teeth of goal. But it is all the Magpies. And Gillian Power can look to alleviate some of the pressure. Kicks down the line.
Frissy, pretty well every stoppage that we've seen, Chloe Bassett's working around the back. That's a pretty predictable running pattern. But she's quick enough and she reads the ball off the hands really, really well.
Yeah.
So she's making the most of it. She's able to trail back around the contest and win clearances.
Definitely, JB. And and this is why she was so sought after coming from Bunbury. Fielding. There's Beeson again. I tell you what, I've loved what she's done in the second half of the year. Originally wasn't going to play football this year. Got convinced to come back and join her South Bunbury sisters, and I bet you they're glad that they've got her. And solid mark there by Shelby Atherton. Right in front of us in the commentary position on the members' side wing.
South Bunbury well set up behind the ball. She'll have to continue down the line.
And good mark. It's another good Borinelli. She's getting a fair bit of it early. Beeson holds it up. And I think South Bunbury will be happy with that. Some of the key prime movers of this Busselton side around this contest. Newman and Fielding. Fielding wins that one convincingly. Beeson again gets boot to ball. Bethany Bond playing higher up the ground, kicks toward the half-forward position, but again, credit to Busselton. They've slowed their roll a little bit. Williamson, one-handed handball, got away with it. Here's Beeson again, gets another kick. Oh, this is great in and under football. Good football by both sides. And right in front of the South Bunbury bench.
I tell you what, you won't meet a more passionate person about the South Bunbury Footy Club than Ebony Bilsich. She's running for them this afternoon. We mentioned in the men's telecast, second in the Peel Women's Best and Fairest, but she's pleading for decisions down there, and she was involved in the celebrations earlier.
Great tackle by Beeson, not rewarded though. It'll go the Magpies' way. And that's a clever kick to Isabella Hancock. On the front cover of the football budget today for those in attendance at the ground, as that goes off hands. And it's still alive, this ball. I thought it had gone out, JB, but fortune favours the Magpies as they go deep toward the left half forward flank. Probably the first time they've gone in this position in about 10 minutes. But they won't mind either way as it's held up. Still in play, this ball. This is great. They're letting it play on. And there's Beth Beckett, quick handball in close quarters, tries to get it out. But clever football by Steph Jolly. And she can get it toward Kate Fielding and company in the true centre half forward position. Fielding, a clever footballer, swings onto her boot. And that's a great weighted kick, gets to Megan Bain at centre half back.
The efforts of a few players down in front of us here to keep that ball in was really impressive, as you mentioned, and just let it run. We've already mentioned a couple of times, but South's keen to just keep the game moving.
Yeah, very interesting as well to see Beth Bond playing up the ground, normally down in full forward, but she's moved up forward in the early stages of this game just to get a spark.
Megan Baines had plenty of it early, breaks a tackle.
Good hand pass there again. Karen Beeson just had the ball on a string as she kicks it high up into the air. That'll bring rain. Several players down at the foot of the ball. There's Bond and Williamson. We tipped that this would be one of the biggest duels of this game, and Williamson, to her credit, probably won that duel then, tapped it to advantage. And Busselton able to clear out of defence. Off hands as the Magpies head toward half forward. However, it's chopped off. Right in front of the members' position. Every possession being fought for here. Beeson again.
Lots of work being put into Chloe Bassett off the ball as that one goes out on the full. We've seen Hancock and Joanna Fry on her at different times, but they're putting lots of body work into her now.
I tell you what, JB, I know Beeson's kick went out on the full there, but there was a lot to like about how she positioned herself at the contest as the Magpies aim to clear it. And it's South who are able to bring it away. Fielding dropped the mark she probably should have taken, but it's all right. It's knocked forward in favour of the Tigers. And Busselton just been struggling with that kick entering the forward 50.
Rennie Meadmore just holding off that contest a little bit. We mentioned that in the previous game, Collie sort of didn't really go one-on-one at half-back. It might be the case there. Meadmore given plenty of space.
3 tapping the ball there. There's Beeson again. She is perhaps a tad bit high, but tackler rewarded by Beth Beckett. They call her the little bulldog, and you could see why there, JB. And they've won another free kick here.
She's brought a good physicality to this game so far, Beckett.
And Shelby Atherton, can she send it deep into attack? That's the way she's looking.
South with the numbers at the fall of the ball.
What can Busselton do here? They've showed plenty of endeavour in this opening couple of minutes. Borinelli there again. Liked her game so far. As South look to bring it out of defence. They're just so cool under pressure. Well, I probably jinxed Stephanie Jolly there. She's turned it over. But the idea was right. And Hancock just looks to steady the ship. She marked in front of Holly Bilsich there.
Ellie Merritt holding deep in the goal square.
She kicked a couple of telling goals late in games as well, so South will need to be on guard for her. As South bring it toward the far wing. Credit Busselton able to get it out of play again. And a mark to Ellie Merritt. Probably a little bit too far out to score, but could get onto it.
Kiani Stevens has the job on Merritt. She was just led to the footy there.
Good kick to Rennie Meadmore, who was unattended. And I'm glad you do touch on Kiani Stevens, because she has been rock solid this year as always. And aside from that contest not going her way. She has had a brilliant season. They love her at Tigerland. But what can Rennie Meadmore do here? She sends it on its way. Oh, it's touched on the line, but it'll still stay in play. It's been a common theme in this first quarter. Magpies overrun it. Chloe Bassett, she's just in a different league, isn't she, at the moment? And it's a handy ball to go out of bounds. As we reach quarter time of the 2020 Southwest Women's Grand Final. And I tell you what, JB, we've been delivered in spades in terms of entertainment in that first quarter, because South Bunbury only up by a goal, but plenty to like about what the Magpies have done so far. Your thoughts so far?
Well, you mentioned they're only up by a goal. There's a big moment in the dying seconds there, and it was the intensity of Kiani Stevens to drop back and get a hand on that one floating back towards the line, because it wasn't an easy task and she had to close really quickly. It's been an interesting one. South Bunbury, what makes them so good is what we've seen this afternoon. You're trying to keep the ball in play and just keep moving it on. Some forward handballs, it's a fairly direct sort of style, but they love to sort of link up a little bit, and they've shown that. Just little taps on, little toe pokes, that's been really impressive this afternoon. Bustleton have been set up really well behind the ball. We've seen a number of good intercept marks, so I think that's a big plus for them. Different, a COVID precaution, a fence around the players, so fans unable to gather around them for the quarter-time address, which I'm sure would have been passionate from Beckett and Jetta.
Yeah, Max Jetta very calm with his players. He loves to reassure them that they are going along the right track. He's not one for ranting and raving, but he will let if they need to improve on something. As quarter number 2 underway, Fielding wins the first knock, but Bustleton are able to get the ball moving in their direction. Great hard work by the Magpies to lock it in there. And the umpire crosses himself and will have a ball up. Interestingly, heading into this grand final, the winning side of each Southwest Women's Grand Final have never kicked more than 5 goals in a grand final. So it'll be interesting to see if South's high-octane forward line can change that today, as Fry in there again. She loses it, had it, then lost it. It's like a pinball machine, this football. Both sides toing and froing with possession.
Megan Bain's been really impressive in this one, lots of touches, and she's one of the main players that keeps just moving that ball on, getting quick handballs away.
Fielding another knock. She had a bit of a tough outing against Harmony Stazuski-Hose a few weeks ago in the second semi-final, but to her credit, she's been on top of her game today, as Beeson at the bottom of that pack again gets the quick handball out. And South can reload again through Bain. She's just getting plenty of it. And Beeson, unattended, can go for a jog. High up and under kick toward the right half forward flank. Busselton should be able to get out of trouble. There's 3 of them there.
Well set up again, Busso. Someone sitting at the back of the pack.
Socket forward. And Bain again. She's got her own football out there. Fielding can go for a gallop. Has a shot at the goals. In toward the teeth of it and touched on the line.
Gillian Power, it was, just waiting off the back of that last high ball inside 50. I thought it was really impressive, really measured approach.
Yeah, she's been very reliable, Power. The South look to get out of defence. That's a nightmare though. It's turned over to Bethany Bond. And the South Bunbury Primary School graduate, we mentioned before the game, she's grown up her whole life wanting to play football for South Bunbury. She's kicked a goal in a grand final, and that is massive, JB, in the context of this game.
Bustle haven't turned the ball over very often in this match, but that one was obviously in a dangerous area, and that's what Bethany Bond does so well, and a really good finish as well. To snap around her body on the run from probably 35 metres out was a really, really good finish. Impressed with that.
Talking to Max Jetta, Beth loves snapping at training. He reckons it's hard to get her to kick a normal drop punt.
Just a dangerous little lead now, isn't it?
Tough tough challenge for the Magpies though, but they're not going to die wondering as they get the ball toward centre half forward. And that's clever football. Over to Handley.
Clever kick.
Great kick, Tanika Handley. And she's found Ellie Merritt.
Merritt gave it off the last time she took a mark inside 50.
It's been a busy couple of weeks for Tanika Handley as well. She played in the netball premiership with the Magpies, and Ellie Merritt rides this one to the line, but it's just away to the left.
Just threatened to come back, that one, didn't it?
Of course, it's like you mentioned in the semi-final telecast last week, JB. A massive year for Busselton. They've been winning in the Colts and the women's and the netball. Something in the water down the Bustle Highway this year.
They'll be hoping to do the job in the league next week as well. We now know they're playing Bunbury in that grand final.
Fielding and Newman. That's been a great matchup.
Good little feed. Beeson well situated.
And Bethany Bond playing up the ground again. Great physical presence. As South look to get the ball forward again. Another goal could make it very, very difficult, as a solid kick by Elwood toward the half-forward line. Bond's in there again, but Busselton able to get a relieving kick toward the wing. Great physicality. Great football there by the Pies. They're working in cahoots. This is what they can do, but just probably lacking a shepherd, though, that Meemore able to get boot to ball. Steph Jolly gets onto a boot. Clever kick around the corner. But credit to the Magpies, they aren't panicking.
Working for each other really well, the Magpies, at every contest.
Be very interesting to see what they can get out of this, but Bain again just gets a quick kick. It turns it over. But South, what a fend-off. Not a bad fend-off by Obel, if you don't mind. And these sides of not becoming friends of the boundary umpire, because they're being able to keep it in, which is great to see. Isabella Hancock wraps up the ball carrier.
On that, Mega Man got the ball and turned straight inside there, and we've seen that a fair bit from both sides, looking to find a handball in the channel rather than to continue down the line.
What can the Magpies do here?
Oh, Bassett. Smooth mover. Gets
the football away. Every time Busselton look like they're threatening, South just have a right of reply. Deep kick by Bias toward the pocket. They're going to need to relieve this situation, Busselton, and thankfully for them, the ball trickles out of play.
Got away with a bit of a jump hole, did power. She was beaten on the way back, so she grabbed a handful.
Keep your eye on Bethany Bond in the red boots. She's going to take a ruck knock in this time and a snap around the corner. But the ball is coming back.
Possibly a ruck infringement.
You can hear Ebony Bilsich on the boundary line, JB. You weren't kidding about her being passionate. Saw her a couple of hours ago. She was in good spirits as the Pies move the ball and Bias, the player in front. She says, yep, that's mine. Who can be a hero for South Bunbury? I'd say that, and it's turned over. Bit of kick to kick at the moment. Both sides exchanging possession quite quickly.
It was just a bit of a nothing kick going inside 50. It was almost like a golfer's layup shot.
Here's Beeson.
It's a grand final. You just want to see them attack a little bit more going inside 50.
Exactly. Clever mark by Fielding. Of course, many in the Southwestern basketball friends watching this telecast would recognise Fielding from her days with the Southwest Slammers, and that's a good kick by Fielding. She got it right in the ideal spot for Boyd to take the mark, but she fumbled it, but it might be okay because Jolly's got it. She sends it deep toward the teeth of goal. Here's Bond. Wants to get onto that trusty right, and she does. Toward the teeth of goal, and a solid mark by Bias again.
It's what makes her so good, Beth Bond, but Busso did give her quite a bit of time to swing
And they got to be awake. They got to be awake. Fielding takes the quick handball, and she's hit the post.
Right up the top of the post as well, wasn't it? Just on Beth Bond there. They gave her lots of time to swing around and some space, particularly with that lethal right peg.
Just wasn't smart football by the Busselton defence to give Kate Fielding that easy release. And Beeson again. Oh, that's Harriet Wedderburn, sorry. The hair protruding her number. Wedderburn's kick was good. Fielding cops a knock for her trouble, but she will get the football back. Beeson and Harriet Wedderburn looking a little similar with that dark hair as Fielding kicks toward the teeth of goal. The Flyers go, but it's okay. It's chopped off okay from the Busselton perspective because Fry's got it.
She's been good, Fry. Had the assignment on Bassett.
Oh, that's a great tackle. No reward by the umpire. And
Beth Beckett coming off the ground with a finger, I think.
Beth Beckett in agony out there at the moment.
Finger or a wrist, maybe a thumb by the looks.
Looking. Shelby Atherton coming on for her. Keep an eye on that, JB, as Steph Jolly in there at the base of that pack, looking to get a quick release. And the umpire will call a bounce. Really dangerous time now for the Magpies. Cannot afford to concede again. Here's Rebecca Jetta. Oh, look at the ferociousness of this contest.
Good technique there by Bassett, nice and low, protecting the ball with her body.
What can the Pies do? Pinned by Maddie Obel. No one wants to win a premiership more than her today, given her tough journey with the knee injury last year. Can the Magpies do something with it? It's Jetta again, gets the football out. No one at home though. And the Magpies will look to relieve pressure. They've been under constant bombardment this whole term. And with Beth Beckett off the ground, it could spell a tough rest of the afternoon for them. Wedderburn in there. Jolly, like what she's done in the second half. Clever kick too to Fielding. Finished third in the Nola Marino medal on Friday night. And again, South's kicking just letting them down a little bit. They're getting their lion's share of possession, aren't they, JB? But some of these kicks could have put the Magpies on the ropes.
Watch Busso come out from the back here. They're often able to find one uncontested mark, but it's the second one that's been the problem.
And that's escorted over the line by Borinelli, playing in defence the last couple of minutes. Danielle Trott in there, going against Fielding. Fielding comprehensively wins that tackle. Here's Obel. She's hard to miss with the red scrunchie in her hair as Magpies try to bring it out, but they are just being swamped. 3 unattended South players around, and there's the block. There's Bain. You can tell when South have got the football because there's always a shepherd there. Bond around the corner.
How will this bounce?
Down toward the teeth of goal. What can the Magpies do? They are just soaking up so much pressure. Holly Bilsich there. 4 unattended players. There's Wedderburn and Beeson. They're all around the ball to the teeth of goal. And looks like there'll be a free kick.
Front on contact, I think. Claudia Elwood coming back, trying to impact the aerial contest.
There's Williamson. Kicks toward the back pocket. There's Meadmore in there. Did plenty right there. There's Bain again. Williamson.
Goalkeeper on duty.
Yeah, she's a reliable defender. Oh, they made a meal of this, Busselton. They're lucky to get away with it. They'll get a free kick, but the attack on the ball by Holly Bilsich was first class. As Beeson's there again, puts her body on the line. Great commitment there. And really clever how she held that play up as well. This is exceptional football by South, just locking it in there, and it's what we've seen over the last 2 years.
I like the Fieldings looking to get the ball back in the channel immediately as well from the ruck.
As Wedderburn gets boot to ball. Intelligent kick by Wedderburn. Here's Bond again. Always looking to involve someone. Great handball out the back to Bain. Here comes South. They could have a fire at the goals, but I think there's been a whistle.
A trip off the ball. They got away with one there. It might be Bain.
Yeah, Michelle Oliver was off to the races there, JB. But it's just been the forward pressure of South.
It's a risky little kick. Put a teammate under a bit of pressure.
What can the Magpies do here? It's just not being able to string possessions together is hurting them. Great commitment there. Stevens is playing up the ground. You can't miss her. She's got the helmet on. And you would think that this ball will be locked up 30 seconds before the half. Kiani Stevens is saying, JB, I haven't had a touch. Ball's not coming down to me. I'm going to go and get myself involved. As Fielding again comprehensively wins the tap. Busselton should be able to survive here. Right into the middle of the ground. Stevens. Oh, what a tackle by Kiani Stevens. That is brilliant football. Not rewarded by the umpire.
Another good tackle.
She's driven down. This is great tackling football by both sides. Wow.
Both players at the end there stiff not to be rewarded for their tackles, but the intensity just lifted in the last couple of minutes, didn't it?
Definitely, JB. I mean, we've seen some interesting football toward that corner, but what a tackle by Stevens.
Solid defensively, I thought, by Busselton. They're probably losing out in quite a few aerial contests, which is why the ball is coming back so often, and it's just about finding a way, whether it's trying to stretch that zone a little bit. I mean, Souths are playing pretty well man-on-man, so they need to find a way to earn themselves some more uncontested marks on the way back out of defence, just to try and get themselves going. Well, the thing that South Bunbury are doing every time there's a loose ball situation, the South Bunbury play with the footy has a handball option 9 times out of 10, so probably something that Busselton haven't quite done to the same effect.
And the thing that's concerning, as we mentioned during the second quarter, is just the repeat possessions for the Magpies. They're not able to string 3 targets together, and we touched on as well in that last 30 seconds that you've got Kiani Stevens up at the centre line. She's up there because Busselton aren't penetrating that final third.
They probably went 5 or 10 minutes without taking the ball past halfway until the very dying stages of that half. Busselton.
If you're Aaron Beckett, what do you say to your troops at halftime?
Look, it's a significant margin in this game, and I think those 10 minutes that we just touched on there would probably concern him a little bit. I think it's just pretty well status quo from what we mentioned in the first quarter. They need to try and win the ball from the source a little bit. Their problem there was that the ball just didn't go back to halfway because South Bunbury, they were solid enough defensively that South Bunbury weren't really damaging them on the scoreboard. So I think he'd probably applaud the effort. I know he'll applaud the effort. He'll sort of celebrate the fact that they are only 2 or 3 kicks back, and he'll sort of plead with them to try and win the ball from the source a little bit more. But with the complete lack of stoppages, it's really difficult, and with South Bunbury getting girls to every single contest, I think that's where their troubles lie.
And it's just their sheer versatility, isn't it? If Bassett isn't getting her hands on the footy, it's Megan Bain or it's Karen Beeson or Harriet Wedderburn. They've just got so many options and they're all running hot. And of course, special credit to Kate Fielding, who is dominating Newman in the ruck.
Well, as we mentioned, there haven't been many stoppages, but it's Fielding's work around the ground as well. She's we speak about it a little bit in league footy. She's playing as another midfielder today, and then she's productive in the forward 50 as well when she gets there.
Well, South Bunbury are 2 quarters away from football immortality. They turn into the second half with a 13-point lead. We'll be back for the second half in a few moments' time. You're watching the 2020 South West Football League Women's Grand Final via thewest.com.au/SWFL. And alongside me, JB enjoyed his halftime little snack there. What do you make of the second half, JB? Very much at stake, a lot at stake for both sides, it must be said.
I think it was always going to be a tough ask for Busselton and made even tougher by the fact that there are a couple of inside 50s in the first quarter they weren't able to make useful on the scoreboard with, but they're still in it. We've spoken about it a fair bit, but winning it from the source, as difficult as it is going to be really important. At this first contest, watch Chloe Bassett. She'll like to peel around the back here. It's Hancock on her at the moment. She needs to just be aware of that running pattern. She's run pretty well the same way at every centre bounce. So watch out for that. But for Busso to win the first couple of clearances is really important in them staying in this game.
Ironic that both Bassett and Hancock are lining up next to each other because they're both next to each other on the front cover of the Footy Budget today. So it's funny how things work in football. And then on the nearest wing to us, we've got Danielle Trott and Michelle Oliver. Interesting matchup that will be. Bain is on Meadmore. That's going to be an interesting duel.
Experience and youth at that contest.
Of course, a big week in the Meadmore household last week with Rennie's husband John getting through to the grand final with Busselton's league side.
John's down there on the bench at the moment and also a 2016 Premiership player at South Bunbury.
And we're underway. Newman got the better of Fielding in that contest, but Bain managed to get first use of the football. And Kate Fielding in there again, just locks it up. Beautiful day for football here. A few passing showers, they've come and gone. We're left with a beautiful sunshine as Newman nullifies Fielding at that knock. There's Hancock. And
a little bit of holding off the ball, Abby Bain.
She'll happily take that as South bring it toward the far wing. Megan Bain with the front spot. Wasn't able to get purchase on it, but she might be able to get the ensuing position. Bit of a scramble. Beeson gets a quick kick away. Straight to a Magpies opponent. Clever football here, but runs into a brick wall again. It's been Busselton's afternoon so far. Can they make something happen here? They'd love a goal just to even things up.
Clever turnover.
But again, South, too good. Bethany Bond working in close quarters, gets the handball away. Quick handball. Changed possession about 10 times in the last 20 seconds. As Busselton try and knock it forward, they must get a goal if they wish to remain in this contest. There's Borinelli in there again. Beckett is out there again, JB, which is good news for her because she did appear to be injured toward the back end of that quarter.
I think that finger has been put back to where it's supposed to be.
Bethany Bond again with the snap kick. She loves them. There's Trott. Busselton have got numbers at this contest. They've got to make it work for them. And they do because they get the kick away.
Numbers at this one too.
Across the back line, Beckett, great hit. Oh, and she says, give it to me, I want the football. Gets the boot to ball deep into the forward 50. The kick errant though, because it goes to Stephanie Jolly, who swings it out toward Holly Bilsich. Great composure by Holly Bilsich, although she's probably spent it before she had it, but she wins back the football. Great football there by young Bilsich.
Big slam tackle.
Massive tackle on Megan Bain, and she's a bit ginger after that. But she's a tough little warrior, and she'll look inboard. Solid kick to Beeson.
Made it hard for her.
Beckett, great tackle. Oh, they're in trouble, Busselton. They are getting pushed out. Jolly again.
Howlett sit for Fielding.
She's got plenty of time. Oh, clever handball by Fielding.
Did well to draw the opponent.
And here comes South to half forward, and a clever mark to Amber Boyd. Footy fans will remember Boyd last season. She kicked 2 goals in 90 seconds to change the game against Bunbury. Bit quieter today, but she still plays her role with a plum as Megan Bain worried out of it by Williamson, who gets it forward, but Fielding read it better. And South have just got so much pressure, it's just wave after wave. We might as well be playing football down by the beach because it's wave after wave for South Bunbury. It's red and white all over. And they are threatening here. Fielding wins the tap. South have got so many around the ball yet again. And Megan Bain, outstretched hand, but it
barreling into the fence down
beats
there
it
as
over
well.
the line. Yeah, she only knows one way. That's hard at the footy.
Boswell stand and Cahill Pavilion. Shocker block down there as well.
I think at fair bet, JB, it'll be full tonight if the girls can continue this awesome performance. They were 5 deep. And Chloe Bassett has got the footy.
Chloe Bassett was held off the ball and was adamant that was her free kick, probably a little stiff.
Didn't want to give it away either. Clever play by Jelly. Solid kick. The young brigade of South starting to come to the fore. Busselton under a lot of pressure, and that looked like it was out of bounds on the full, and it is.
It's just same old at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
Busselton trying to clear their lines, unable to do so.
Yeah, they look under siege at the moment, and you wouldn't want it in anyone else's hands if you're a South supporter than Chloe Bassett. Clever kick toward the boundary line and out of bounds.
Really well managed by Williamson as well. An excellent defender, had 3 to beat and did so nicely.
One more goal would make it very difficult for Busselton. They have, and that's good pressure by the Pies.
Danny Trott applying the pressure there, really excellent effort. Can be a bit intimidating when Bassett's going one way than the other, but you watch the ball rather than the feet.
Now, you haven't watched a lot of women's football this year, JB, but I understand that you're a big fan of Bassett and how she's gone about it.
I've seen a couple of South Bunbury games and I just think she's the most dominant clearance player probably in any competition.
And here's Kiani Stevens. She is the pillar of this defence, and it was fitting because no one was around her. She was the last line of defence. Clever kick.
Turns it over.
Toward the wing. The bounce wasn't favourable to South, however. But the numbers are. Here's Bassett. Turns around. Pirouettes. Gets the hand pass away. South could be in business again with Michelle Oliver worrying out Williamson. And Magpie's just keen to get boot to ball, get it out of the danger zone, but that's probably the last place you wanted it to go because it goes to Beth Bond, although she turns it over and finds Borinelli. What can they do? Oh, geez, that's just a lackadaisical handball there. Busselton, for all their endeavour, they're not stringing disposals together as the ball goes toward the true centre-half forward possession. Touch ball. It'll be interesting to see how the ball drops here.
Pressure from behind.
Again, poor handball. Bit of holding from both sides. Boyd's in there.
Great effort by Power to fend off 2 and get a handball away.
Heavy hit right into the members' position. The Magpie supporters very vocal. Bassett again, held without the football. She'll get a free kick. Oh, and that is a stupid act by Beckett. And there's a bit of argy-bargy. Silly play.
This is a territory game, Frissy, and 50 metres is
JB,
valuable real estate.
And we've mentioned how important the next goal would be, and you've got it in the hands of Chloe Bassett. A stupid free kick to give away. Obviously frustration, and Chloe Bassett misses.
Got away with one there, Beth Beckett. That's a really disappointing little passage of play. She's obviously been injured already this afternoon and just took umbrage to the decision, but it was a fair decision. She's gone two hands in the back and then fallen on her legs.
Just cannot shove a player when they're going to take their kick, JB. And disappointing because she is such a quality player in person. Very unlike her. As South go toward the teeth of goal again. Amber Boyd burrowing in. Gee, she's a great forward. Megan Bain ripped off the play by Borinelli. And we knew coming into this one that she would be a danger for South. She started forward, she's now back. No doubt Aaron Beckett looking to get an added bit of grunt for her as they go. Oh, that's a poor kick. Straight to Jolly. And can she make them pay? Beth Bonds at the drop of the ball.
Busselton just need to be working harder to create a numerical advantage on the exit there. They're just kicking to 50-50s.
Hayley Bias in there again. Beth Bond worrying them out of it. What can Busselton do here? They just need something. Joanna Fry working hard. We're nearly ticked into the 10-minute mark of the third term.
A bit lucky there, Fry came back through traffic and left the footy behind.
South by 14 points. And another great tackle. However, Elwood not getting rewarded.
One of those ones, I think, there for Elwood where the ball slips out, the ball carrier loses possession and it's shielded from the tackler.
Very hotly contested this game, and Megan Bain, we've called her name plenty of times today. And it's on the line, the drop of the ball, and that is a beautiful finish. A beautiful finish. They get around her. Just trying to make out who that is, JB.
It's an unfortunate but a really costly drop mark. It's an uncontested mark on the goal line. And unfortunately, Busselton have paid for it here. A skill error and the brain explosion, so to speak, in the last 5 minutes.
Just reward for effort for South Bunbury, isn't it? I mean, and again, the presence of mind. We talk about how prevalent South Bunbury are in terms of their footy smarts. They know where to go, and it is going to be very difficult now for the Magpies. As we're back in the middle, they'll keep fighting though, don't worry about that. And a free kick goes the way of the Magpies as they swing it out toward this members side position.
Great kick.
Solid kick to Beth Beckett. And she's a great user of the football. They should have a bit of advantage here. Oh, Stevens solidly got in there. Can they finish here? Shot at goal. Oh, it's been muffed. It's been muffed. Embry was right in on goal, and some frantic work from the South defence have held it up. Oh, look for certain to score there.
Probably just a lack of urgency, I think.
And here's Beckett, and Beckett kicks a goal.
That's a really good goal. She's read that off the tap. We praise footballers at the highest level for being able to read taps like that. That was absolutely superb. Little bit of stoppage work from Beth Beckett, and a really big moment for her because she's had a couple of moments that she'd probably look back on unfavourably this afternoon, but a big goal just to win one back.
Just really smart presence of mind. We saw it down the other end with the Tigers, and the same from Beckett, and she's a very, very proud footballer, and that would have been hurting that 50 she gave away, and she's repaid the faith to the faithful.
I like that she held off the contest as well rather than just wrestling at the feet of the rucks.
Newman and Fielding, they have had a great duel this afternoon. Can Holly Bilsich get into the play? Fumbled it. Oh, but great football by Holly Bilsich. Knocked it in front of her, kept it alive, deep into the teeth of goal. Here's Amber Boyd. What can she do? She worries the Busselton defender out of it.
Massive contest win for Holly Bilsich. It's moments like that that win flags, because if she loses out in that contest, it's coming back the other way and at pace.
And she's one of the many youth girls that Max Jetta has given an opportunity. I heard on good authority during the week he's rotated 6 different youth girls through this side at senior level. Bilsich is one of them. Always turns to training, always gives her best, and she's been rewarded with a spot on grand final day as Busselton look to clear, and that is a ill-directed kick. It is gone to Chloe Bassett.
I like the Williamson decision to come back inside and take the game on. They just don't use it well enough at half back.
And that is an easy mark.
The opportunity was there to really switch the play and spread them.
And they can get this ball on quickly to the teeth of goal. Although it's turned over again, but
look at the jumpers, all white jumpers.
All red and white, and they can raffle this. Here's Wedderburn. She gets it out to Beeson. Wedderburn puts a block on. Here's Karen Beeson taken around the neck. But the umpire says play on. Wedderburn kicks clear to the middle of the ground. It's okay for South, though. They've got the numbers. Can they mount another attacking raid before three-quarter time? There's a whistle.
Downfield free kick.
Now
Newman just copped the knock after she disposed of the footy.
20 seconds left in the quarter. You would expect this to be the final play. Can South get it deep?
50.
And 50 metres, and again
Danny Trott just went a little early.
Trott.
She's a little stiff because Bilsich wasn't far from stepping off her line, but she just went a little early. Costly.
And that is the second 50-metre penalty of this quarter, JB, and we just know in grand finals you can ill afford to do it. So this will be the last kick.
43 players on the ground are spectators.
Well, you'll hear a massive roar from the pavilion. If the kick was to go through for a goal, it's fallen short. But South Bunbury are 1 quarter away from football immortality. They lead 3-3-21 to 1-1-7. And now the thoughts of JB as both sides make their way to the middle of the ground.
It's just the same sort of thing really for Busselton. They're not giving themselves the opportunity to win clearances because we've not had too many stoppages. South Bunbury are winning 9 out of 10 aerial contests. Basically, they're getting numbers to the fall of the ball, but they're also taking marks. Busselton just haven't been able to clear the ball from their back half, really. They probably need to try something a bit different. I like the decision of Angela Williamson to take on a tackler, turn back inside and get a handball off, but it was the next kick that was the problem. We spoke off air pre-game that they're a good handball team. Busselton, they like to link up, and forward handballs is how they move the footy. We've not seen that this afternoon. It's not been characteristic of them, and that's what happens when you put under a huge amount of pressure in games like this. And obviously the pressure of the occasion and the pressure on every single ball carrier. But South Bunbury, to their credit, they've been superb. It'll be a difficult task. By Busselton, South Bunbury have been pretty well clinical, and it's what you worry about with teams like this that probably come into games like this as favourites, particularly in a new competition where, I mean, South Bunbury are the dominant side in pretty well in the history of this competition, especially if they get this done this afternoon. But their girls have still not played any more than maybe 8 or 9 finals games. So really good for them that they've been able to come here and execute their skills really well.
And a player I just want to quickly touch on before the three-quarter time interlude for us in terms of our commitments is Amber Boyd, because although she hasn't kicked a goal so far today, I just feel that the way that she's utilised her forward presence in worrying defenders to force the ball toward the boundary line, she really has come into her own. And although we talk about Bond, we talk about Beeson and a lot of these other big name players, Amber Boyd really is showing just how valuable she is to this team, and it really is a team unit at South.
A different sport, but Olivia Giroud won a World Cup for France, not scoring a goal, and it's a similar performance from Boyd. She's crashing pack, she's bringing the ball to the front. As you say, she's leading hard, and she's creating space for other teammates, so they'd be really pleased with that.
We might stay with things, JB, just because both sides are keen to get back out into the middle of the ground. Now, I want to put your football mouse to the test at the moment, my friend. If you were to pick a winner for the Optus Best On Ground medal, at this particular point in time, how would you be lining your position?
I'd be happy with either Chloe Bassett or Megan Bain. I can't think of a centre clearance that hasn't been won by Chloe Bassett. Megan Bain's worked really hard. I thought Holly Bilsich was probably the player of that third quarter. I was really pleased that she won. Well, it was an excellent effort for her to win that big contest down in front of us there late. So I think they're probably the three. I think Williamson's probably been the best of the Busselton players. She's been put under a lot of pressure and time again won contests, particularly in the air, where she's pretty well been operating by herself. So I think she's been the best for the Magpies, but I think it's probably Bassett and Bain, maybe Beeson for South Bunbury. Let's go with a quarter to go. Let's sit on Megan Bain.
Yeah, I've liked what Megan Bain's done this afternoon. She really has shown that she's a great player, and what a story it would be in 15 minutes' time if South Bunbury are to deliver another premiership.
Look at them lining up.
15 minutes away from glory, or is there another twist in the tail? Fielding clearly gets the football away.
A little lucky not to give away a free kick, Bain. She had a good hold.
And she's got it again, Fielding. Sinks the slipper in right. Down toward the left half forward flank for the Tigers. Here's Williamson. She is just so resolute. As we mentioned, had some knee problems, but you wouldn't know it. She's been ferocious this afternoon.
It's that kick that's the problem for Busselton, and so many times it's been Bassett sitting under it. She finds a target at half forward who can't mark. Souths go inside 50 once more, and a really good defensive mark. Busselton look to exit again.
And can they go a little bit better with this exit kick? Well, not entirely, because there are
good contact.
Beeson nets solidly in a tackle. The umpire says, give it to me.
Beth Beckett's had an influence on this game for better and for worse.
Yeah, I think she's the error of the 50-metre penalty is long a distant memory, as Wedderburn, deep kick into the teeth of goal again. Here's Williamson, attacks it strongly, doesn't give Bond an inch. Boyd was down there as well. That snap kick again by Bethany Bond toward the opposite pocket. There's Vanderleer. Busselton will just try and hold this up. Great football done in the end, clearing it.
That kick needed to go wider.
That's potentially a high shot there. Umpire says no.
Just felt like that kick needed to go to grass to give her players a chance.
Yeah, it's just that final ball's been a bit disappointing all day. Tregus, Beckett, solid handball. And
as we get a sec here, that smother down there in the pocket by Joanna Fry, we spoke about when Beth Bond kicked that goal, they gave her way too much time to wheel around onto her right, and they certainly didn't that time. They rushed her dominant foot.
Exactly, and that's something that comes in time. There is one thing that is pleasing, though, is despite the score on the board, there is plenty of passion on the Magpies bench.
They're just not quite spreading hard enough here. There's all this vacant land on the wing that they could be working into.
And they're just not moving. There's Meadmore, and great interception.
Now they need to go.
Are they away? But runs backwards, Hancock. Collared by Bain in a tackle, and it's Wedderburn.
So that's a little bit of a football nous thing. You're 14 points down in the last quarter of a grand final, and to wheel back when you get it is...
Clever handball by Bassett over the top. Oh, mown down. Will she be rewarded? Yes, she will.
Just need to keep moving forward, Busselton. It's got to be the first thought every time they get the ball.
Yeah, they've last roll of the dice, and that's a good mark to Borinelli. Jolly stands the mark. Umpire says no, nothing ill in that. Borinelli sinks a slip into it on the members' side wing, and Beeson again. Gee, she's a good footballer. Into the centre of the ground, but it's
risky
turned
kick.
over.
It's a poor decision.
It was. What can the Magpies do? Vanderleer. What can Ellie Merritt do? She's worried out of the kick, and it'll run toward the back pocket. Kiani Stevens, brave. Able to help get that exit kick away. That was tremendous by Stevens. She hasn't had a lot of the ball today for obvious reasons, but gee, she's worked hard. Can Merritt snap onto her right? Magpies down. Here's Rennie Meadmore, and Meadmore kicks a goal. Is there life in the Tigers? Is there life in the Magpies, I should say? 8 points the difference.
Well, that's the lowest the margin's been since quarter time. It was a really good passage of play. It's exactly what we were speaking about. Merritt coming back through and sold some candy and just made things happen, really, didn't she? And they ran hard for her to get to her feet so that she could dish off a handball. It was really impressive movement forward. And it all started with that big mark on centre wing. Borinelli it was.
And we mention again, JB, that no side winning a women's premiership to date has kicked more than 5 goals total in a decider, and history looks like repeating again. 8 points the difference. Is there one more swoop by the Busselton Magpies? Very, very critical couple of minutes coming.
Good tackle.
Wedderburn is crunched.
It's Beth Beckett.
And Beckett again is heeding the words of the Magpie coaches.
She's turned it on, Beckett.
Sends it deep towards centre half forward.
Big decision.
There's a whistle, and it's going the way of South Bunbury. Going the way of Maddie Obel, the captain. Kicks toward the South Bunbury dugout side of the ground, and clinical play. Bassett engineers a move, and again we mentioned it a few times. Bethany Bond playing higher up the ground, one of the best kickers in the team.
Great kick.
And finds Rebecca Jetta.
Amber Boyd to get her reward, maybe.
Can Boyd do it? Held off the ball. She's grabbed her by the leg. I don't think you can do that, Amber.
Busselton have gone up a gear here, and to date South Bunbury have gone with them. They were good at that contest, but another attack forward. They need to keep the intensity in this game.
9 minutes to go, JB, as Busselton.
Still plenty of time. 2 kicks out.
This is hot stuff.
Beckett's been the best player on the ground this quarter.
Tell you what. And Busselton, you're right, JB, they have lifted a gear.
Borinelli started that last passage that led to goal with a big mark on centre wing, and she's done it again here.
And I tell you what, Busselton are up and about on this boundary line.
Important mark, Obel.
And that's solid mark by Maddie Obel. Her dad Glenn watching today, very proud father. As Obel high up and under kick. Bethany Bond read the fall of the ball, soccers it forward. Oh, this could be good night. Oh, Boyd. And it trickles through for a minor score.
She's looking ominous now, Amber Boyd. Pretty well cleared the forward line out for her.
She is a very, very dangerous player. I mentioned what she did last year against Bunbury. She's one of those players you can ill afford.
Beckett again, a big tackle.
Again.
On Bethany Bond too.
And Harley Bilsich has been taken in a solid tackle as well. Right in the teeth of goal. What can the Magpies do? Here's Meadmore. She was unattended. Lux a fortune.
Here's that handball change.
Borinelli. Oh, that's difficult handball for Meadmore. She had to deal with it. But, unsighted. Can South make them pay? Another clever use of the footy by Bassett, and a solid mark to Bethany Bond.
Just read it better. Bethany Bond, she worked her opponent under the ball really early. That was excellent play, and it was a big drop mark. Unfortunately, they've had a couple, Busso, but if Hancock took that mark, they were on.
Bethany
Rachel
Bond.
Hancock was on over the top.
She has waited for this moment her whole life, playing in another grand final. At the fall of the ball, rush behind.
Could be a handy behind.
10 points the margin. Talking to Beth Bond a couple of weeks ago, she said whenever I got an opportunity to play football, whether it was Eagles Cup, Winter Carnival, I always wanted to play, put my hand up, and you can see that she's got no fear. And here's Holly Bilcich. Could she kick a goal?
Boyd.
No, even better. She gets it to Amber Boyd, who probably should have gone back and had a shot rather than playing on, but it's another important behind.
Busso needs to try something different here. You've got to try the far wing, I think. Try and stretch someone out there.
Oh, she could have put the game beyond doubt, JB.
They need to get their runners on the job here. This is better.
Could have been the winning goal, Amber Boyd, but not to be on that occasion. South has still got numbers, though. Long kick, and that'll go out of bounds 5 metres around from the left behind post.
A really good result for South Bunbury. They probably couldn't have asked for anything better here than a boundary throw in.
At the Mary Street end of the ground. Of course, in the league preliminary final, we saw lots of goals kicked at that end of play. There's Tregus. Jeez, no quarter for error here. And the umpire crosses himself and will have a ball up. Two number 8s, Beckett and Bain, lining up next to each other. Rennie Meadmore in there as well. And Tregus was going against Fielding there. Busselton should be allowed to get out of here. And that was great work by Beth Beckett. She was about 20 metres from that contest and has run to make space.
Run herself into a bit of trouble.
That's right as well. And a solid mark to Harriet Wedderburn. A lot to like about how she plays her football as well. Turnover though, but it still will work out for South. We're ticked to 10.5 minutes in the last quarter. Ideal position for South Bunbury. Busselton to have any chance now, they've got to get the ball down the other end. And that is a comprehensive tackle by who else? Megan Bain. And she's got a tidy little kick and kicks it.
I'll tell you what, if she wasn't best on ground, I think she is now.
That is a beautiful kick to Jetta.
A big run-down tackle and a beautiful kick inside 50. Jetta's moved it on nicely and quickly.
And at the ball drop, quick kick, not 15, play on is the... Oh no, it's going to come back.
High contact is the call.
Bias is away there. Time running out for the Magpies.
Do they go up the middle here? No, she's coming out to the members' side.
Meadmore, she's tried hard all afternoon. Plenty to like about how she plays her football, Rennie Meadmore. But time looks to be against the Magpies now. Fielding knocks it toward the boundary line. Bassett just bullocks her way forward, says no. I tell you what, seeing Hancock and Bassett play today has been one of the more exciting matchups.
Two of the best in our competition.
And Fielding, she's pretty much rucked all day today. Beeson gets boot to ball. It's an up and under kick and out of bounds on the full. Plea of 50 metres, but umpire wasn't falling for that one. High kick. Wedderburn there again. Beeson, sorry. Out of bounds.
South might be a little unlucky there. I reckon that might have taken a finger on the way through.
Bain stands the mark. Borinelli, clever fist. Clever fist.
Steph Jolly.
By Jolly. And again, there's just so many contributors in this side, and you can see the South faithful starting to rise as one on the boundary line as the Seagulls circle. Is there one last hurrah for these Magpies? Kiani Stevens is at centre half forward, and she's been caught. Costly decision.
They need to go, Bustle. They need to use the far side of the ground.
And they go in that direction, JB. Numbers are with them. Vanderleer. Solid tackle, but Stevens makes up for that earlier mistake in part because of, in terms of territory. Kicks it to fellow key defender Williamson on the opposing side. Busselton, they've got to get the ball forward. Time running out for them. Trot with the footy. Quick, got to get onto it now. There's time, the time clock ticking away. We've got 1 minute and 8 seconds left.
South Bunbury a beneficiary of the running clock as well, so they can hold it up.
South keen to hold. Bias just gets the boot to it, gets it out anywhere. And they should be clear now as Wedderburn kicks the football deep toward the half-forward line. Fielding and Jedders there. That was a great tackle. Fielding back in traffic. Kicks to Bond. Clever kick.
Goalkeeper's there once more.
Williamson's there. As South look to negotiate it forward. And it'll hold up. It's going to be another one. We are on hand today to witness football's invincibles in the Southwest. They've done it again. We wondered whether they could back it up, but they are moments away from doing it again. Another kick forward. Can they raffle it? The roar will tell the story. We have witnessed football immortality here at Hands Oval this afternoon. The South Bunbury Football Club do what no one in this competition has done before. They have completed 2 undefeated seasons under the guidance of Maxwell Jetta. Final scores: South Bunbury 3-6-24, defeat a gallant Busselton 2-1-13. And Jackson Barrett, what an incredible game of football. Your thoughts? We've witnessed something very special this afternoon.
Yeah, not to be understated what South Bunbury have done over the last couple of years, and the program that Max Jetta's put in place. It's for them a brilliant circle in that you put a good program in place, you'll attract good players and you'll make them better, and then you'll attract more good players. And I think that's pretty well what South Bunbury have done. They've got the most dominant midfield of any of the divisions in the Southwest. Bain, Beeson, Bassett, and Fielding. Fielding was really good today. She probably didn't give herself the opportunity to show her true craft because there just weren't that many stoppages. But she proved her worth as another midfielder. So they'll be really, really pleased with that. If you can get that from your ruckman, you're going a long way to winning games and to winning premierships, and that's obviously what they've done here for a second time. And there's so many positive stories to take from this team. They're so cohesive. They all fire together. But let's touch on Maddie Obel. She missed out last year with that wretched knee injury. She said, all I want to do is play in a flag for my beloved club. She's done it today. Another one is Max Jetta, the coach, 100% record coming on board. It was when he came on board, it was a program that had come close, but not quite, experienced the ultimate success. And now all he's experienced is success. So he's an excellent football story. This won't be the highest grade of football he coaches, Maxwell Jetta, I wouldn't have thought. His ability to win over his players really, really quickly. They play football as well as for the famous jumper. They play football for Max Jetta as well. Definitely,
JB. We'll head down to the presentations. I better head down boundary side. An absolute privilege once again to commentate with you. We'll be on hand next week for the league grand final. And thanks to all the team from my perspective for putting this together. I'll leave you in the trusted hands of JB as we enter the Southwest Footy League women's presentations.
So the presentation's not far off beginning. The Dale Alcott Homes truck has been driven around into position. South Bunbury players now joined by fans and family who have spilled out onto Hands Oval. Famous venue for this famous football club. They've won more league premierships than any other league football club in the country, and now their women's side proving to be quite the powerhouse as well. As we mentioned, the darlings of this football club. It's been a rough year across the board.
If we can please have both teams come inside the presentation area. We'll get the presentations underway.
Stay with us at Hands Oval for the presentations of the 2020 Women's League Premiership Cup and the medallions to the victorious South Bunbury Football Club Premiership side for season 2020.
Thank you, South Bunbury, well done. Can you please come and join us in the presentation area? Thank you. Also a big shout out to Daniel Leach and Alan Crane from Triple M for their ongoing support and coverage of the SWFL Football League Grand Finals and throughout the season. It's been wonderful to support the league and get the game out to so many people. Right, to get things underway, can we please put our hands together for the umpires, and Mr. Laurie Sullivan will present the medallions. In the field we have Cam Edmonds, Andrew Fife, Bruce Cornish. The boundary we have Emma Hutchins, Lola Edmonds, and in the goals, Phil Hare and Katrina Edwards. Thank you to our umpires, thank you to Laurie. Can I please take a moment to congratulate and honour the efforts today of the Busselton Football Club. Well done, ladies. Gives me a great pleasure now to invite forward Ms. Nola Marino, the member for Forest, and also a champion of our game in the region, along with Simone Nani, the General Manager, and they'll present the Premiership medallions. Okay, in alphabetical order. Megan Bain. Abby Bain. Chloe Bassett. Karen Beeson. Holly Bilsich. Maddie Bilsich. Bethany Bond. Amber Boyd. Hayley Bias. Claudia Elware. Kate Fielding. Bryony Gell. Rebecca Jetta. Stephanie Jolly. Brooke Newman. Madison Nutsky. Michelle Oliver. Renee Scott. Kiani Stevens. Talia Townsend. Harriet Wedderburn. Once again, thanks to Optus for sponsoring the women's competition and the grand final today. And the captain, Maddie Obel. And the coach, Max Jetta. A big thank you to Nola Marino and to Simone Harney, General Manager of the SWFL Football League. Now it's a great pleasure to welcome to the podium from Optus, Mr. Peter Van Rensburg, who will present the medal for the best player today. Big round of applause to Peter and to Optus. Thank you. And the winner from the medal, her neck will be claimed this year from South Brumby, number 10, Chloe Bassett.
Massive thank you to Max for on-field and off-field support, especially training clubs and the girls. We've been incredible, like amazing. Can't thank you enough. To Busso, these guys put up a massive fight all season. Been really tough. It could have been anyone's game today. And yeah, that's about it. And I had a good night.
Well done, mate. And thank you to Peter, thank you to Optus. Now Cole Plex up to the front. The General Manager for Dale Home South West, Mr. Steve Hancock, to present the Premiership pennant. Round of applause for Steve. Steve.
Well, as much as this pains me, there is too. Yeah, excellent. Really appreciate that. Hey, look, to the Busso footy side today, terrific. This campaign started 12 months ago under Dave, kindly taken over by Azzy late in the year. And these girls have shown absolute bonding, strength, just real caring for one another, and they play like that. Congratulations, guys, to the South Bunbury Footy Club, led by Maxie. You guys have been the benchmark for the competition this year, if not previous years. So we certainly set ourselves against you guys. Today was tight. I know we sort of had a bit of a run on there, and then time ran out. But Maxie, to yourself and the club, congratulations, Premiers, Women's 2020.
And now, with great pleasure, I welcome to the stage the President of the South West Football League, Mr. Barry Tate, to present the Premiership Cup. Round of applause to Barry.
Yeah, thanks very much everyone today. It's been great. The weather's a bit up and down all day, but it's been a fantastic day for all grades. So the Busselton, you've come a long way this year, which is great to see. Part of the real good part of the competition, which is fantastic. The Max, obviously, and South Bunbury football team, well drilled, well run, well done. Congratulations, and you'll enjoy this tonight. Well done.
So a huge congratulations to the South Bunbury Football Club Women's League Premiers for season 2020. They got the job done on their home turf. Here's Max Jetta.
I'd just like to thank everyone here that came down and watched all the games, not just us. But good luck to Busso League boys. I know for years, so good luck next week. And the Busso women and all year, it's probably one thing that we probably are nervous on. They match us up pretty good, and coming out today, I didn't know what was going to happen. It was a tight game. Just like, let's get down there. Didn't make anyone's way, and I'm sure we'll see you next year. I'll put another one. So, to my girls, I said it in the rooms. If you want it, you're gonna go get it, and that's what we did. So, yeah, come on, celebrate. Let's go.
Well done, Max. Well done, Maddie. Congratulations to the South Bunbury Football Club. Optus, South West Football League 2020 Premiers. Round of applause to South Bunbury.
So after missing last year, Maddie Obel is now a premiership captain. She held the trophy aloft at Hands Oval. Max Jetta is a two-time premiership coach, and South Bunbury salute again in season 2020, 2 seasons now, unbeaten in the Optus women's competition in the South West Football League. These will be celebrations that continue for some time at Hands Oval. Thank you for joining us for a big doubleheader on thewest.com/SWFL. This afternoon we've seen Bunbury defeat Collie in the preliminary final in the men's. They'll advance to face Bustleton in next week's grand final, and South Bunbury are women's premiers for 2020. Join us next Sunday for the league grand final between Bunbury and Bustleton. Jackson Barrett and Justin Friss with you again for the conclusion of what's been a crazy South West Football League season for 2020, but not many things have gone as expected in season 2020, but one thing that was expected was this South Bunbury side saluting again, and they'll look to make it a three-peat in season 2021. Congratulations again to Max Jetta, Maddie Obel, and best on ground Chloe Bassett, and join us next week for the league grand final.